Hi guys, can you all see me? Okay, so welcome all of you to this masterclass on sequence and series where we'll be discussing some pretty interesting questions on sequence and series which was asked in IIT JEE Advanced as well as JEE Mains. Okay, so before we get into the topic, I would like to know where you guys are from. Can you all quickly type it down? I'm reading the chat messages over here. So can you all let me know where you are from? Okay. Awesome guys. So a lot of people from various parts of India, which is great. Thank you guys. Thank you for letting me know. Awesome. So you guys have introduced yourself, and before we dive into the topic, I would like to introduce myself. So here we go. My name is Shimon Joseph and I'm a BTech and EAMCET graduate from IIT Madras. I've been teaching for almost 6 years now, mentoring over 2000 students. So when I was like you guys, few years back, I was also preparing for JEE. I took up JEE Mains and I was one of the state toppers, and I also wrote the exam called KVPY. Some of you might be knowing it. I was also a KVPY scholar. But that is not the reason why I'm here. The reason is I was really passionate about maths from a very young age. Right from 8th standard, I was having a curiosity or interest which stood out in maths alone. So I want to share the same passion to you guys as well. Okay guys, so with that we will move on to the session today, which is on sequence and series. Okay, so can you all give me a thumbs up? Let's start it. Can you all give me a thumbs up? Quickly. Okay guys, awesome. You guys are great. Okay, so the first thing which I want to discuss with all of you is the importance of this chapter. Many times we tend to think of sequence and series as a very easy chapter, or we tend to overlook it. Okay, so right now I want to discuss with you guys the history of this chapter in JEE Mains. So I have some data over here for you. I guess all of you can see it. So if you look at it carefully, for the last 5 years, the weightage of sequence and series is about 7%. That translates to 2 questions in the entire exam, which is amazing guys, because I'm sure all of you know that JEE Mains Maths has 30 questions in total, and in those 30 questions you got for sure 2 questions coming from sequence and series. Why is this so great? Why is this important? That's because in 11th and 12th maths, you have got 36 chapters in total. And out of 36, you get only 30 questions. So ideally, you expect only 1 question from a chapter. That itself is great. But you have 2 questions from sequence and series. So it is quite an important topic. And I'm sure all of you would have realized it by now. So today, we'll be looking at some very interesting questions which I've got for you. And through those questions, we will try to cover some concepts. Okay, let's get started guys. So the first thing which I want to do is refresh the basics which is required for today's session. So all of you might be knowing what an AP is. So let us quickly jot it down. An AP is going to be something like this. The first term is A, and the second term is going to be A plus D. The third term is going to be A plus 2D. And so on till the last term, which is A plus n minus 1 times D. That is what you call as an AP. Why do you call it an AP? Because you have a common difference between 2 consecutive terms. I'm sure all of you know that because in NCERT it's already covered. Okay. So the general term of an AP is given over here, and then the sum is right over here. How do we get the sum of an AP? So we know the property of an AP that sum of equidistant terms is going to be equal. So second term and last but one term, first term and last term, they will all be equal in value. That property can be used to easily get the value of the Sn. Are you guys okay with this? Awesome. So let's move on. These are pretty easy concepts which I guess most of you might be knowing already. So next thing which I want to emphasize on is the selection of terms. So usually when three terms are said to be in AP, all of us know that we take them to be A minus D, A and A plus D. So here the common difference is D. But note one thing guys, these kind of assumptions or this way of taking the terms is only when the sum is given. Because A minus D, A and A plus D, when summed up together, they give you 3A. So only when I am given the sum, I try to use this. Not always. Not always. Please note that because you cannot blindly apply this for everything. Got it? So when you are asked 4 terms, I have given you how to take them if they are in AP, which is right over here on your screen. Okay. But again, there is an important thing to note over here also. What is that? The common difference here is going to be 2D. It is not D because as you can see, you have A minus 3D and A minus D. So the common difference, that is the difference between these two, is going to be 2 times of D and not 1D. I hope all of you are clear with that. Okay guys, with that we will move on to the next concept, which is arithmetic means. Now this is a very important concept because of late we are getting a good number of questions from AM, GM and HM, which we will cover in due course. Okay, so when you are asked to find AM, it is nothing but the average. We have done it in statistics, right? You have done it in 10th standard statistics, which is nothing but the average of all the observations. So how do you calculate it? You sum up all the terms and divide by the total number of terms. Okay, so that is pretty simple. So with that, we will move on to the question for today. I will give you guys 30 seconds to answer this. This question was asked in JEE Advanced 2018 and it was pretty interesting, so I thought I'll share it with you. It is not going to be very tough. It is a moderate question, but I'll show you an awesome way of solving it. So guys, I give you 20 more seconds, after which I will discuss the solution. Rohan, you have to try again. Raghu, that's correct man, awesome. So some of you guys have solved it, which is great. Now let's try to see how this question can be solved quite easily. So the first thing you note here is what is asked guys. You are asked to find the number of elements in this set X union Y. So if you remember in 10th standard you have studied n of X union Y can be written as n of X plus n of Y minus n of X intersection Y. Is that correct guys? All of you? Perfect. Now I know the number of terms in X. So do I know n of X, which is 2018? I know the number of terms in Y also, which is again 2018. What is n of X intersection Y? That we do not know. So indirectly they are asking you to find what is the intersection. They are asking you what is the intersection, and that is what we will try to find out. Okay guys? Perfect. So let's try to find that out guys. Okay. So let's write down the terms here. It's going to be 1, 6, 11, 16, 21, 26, 31, 36, 41, 46, 51 and all the way up to the last term. Is this an AP? Obviously it is an AP because I have increments of 5 everywhere. So obviously it is going to be an AP. Now, how do I find the last term of an AP? It is nothing but first term plus n minus 1 times difference. So can I say it is going to be 1 plus 2017 into 5, which is nothing but 10,086. I hope all of you have got it. Perfect. The reason I wrote these many terms will be clear in some time. I will get back to that. The reason I wrote these many terms will be clear to guys in a while. Okay. Now let's write the second sequence which is given to us, which is 9, 16, 23 and 30, 37, 44, 51 and so on. And what will be the last term over here, guys? It is going to be first term plus n minus 1 times of d. The d here, which is common difference, is going to be 7, which I guess is pretty simple. The common difference can be calculated by taking the difference of two consecutive terms. Okay, so what will this be? Can anyone tell me? What will the last term be? Are you all able to follow? Exactly. Perfect, guys. So this is going to be 14,128. That's the reason we do everything. We will understand that in a few minutes. Guys, now am I interested in x or y separately? No, because x and y separately is already known. I want to find what is x intersection y. And what do you mean by that? That is nothing but the common terms between these two. So what are the common terms? Let's try to mark them. So I have 16 as my first common term and the next common term is 51. Got it? So I will write them down separately. So 16, 51 is my next common term. So what is the gap between them? Can you all tell me what is the gap between them? It is going to be 35. Guys, this is very important because I wrote a lot of terms here to get this difference 35. Are you all able to follow? But if you know a certain property which is over here, LCM of 5 and 7 is nothing but 35. So that is the trick in this question. Usually for the common terms, the difference is going to be the LCM of the two common differences. Okay. So let's try to write down all these terms. So in order to find the last term, how do we do this? So can I write the last term to be 16 plus n minus 1 times of 35? Is that correct? Now here comes the master stroke. Guys, can this last term be greater than 10,086? Can this last term be greater than 10,086? Can you guys tell me? The common term. Guys, listen carefully. So whatever we are writing down over here is the common term. Okay. So common terms have to be common to both of them, right? That is the meaning of it. Okay. So that is the meaning of common terms. So if I want my last term to be common, then here comes the most important step, which is 16 plus n minus 1 times of 35 should be less than or equal to 10,086. It should be less than or equal to, because if it is greater than 10,086, it will be out of my first sequence. If it is greater than 10,086, it is going to go out of my first sequence, which is x. That cannot be possible because I am looking at common terms, right? Therefore, this relation is my master stroke. Let's try to find the value of n now. Now, n minus 1 into 35 will be less than or equal to 10,070, which leaves me with n minus 1 is less than or equal to 10,070 by 35. So can you guys divide it? It is going to be 2 and then 307 8 times, which will give you 27, which will be 7 point something. Okay, so can I say n will be less than 288 point something? Okay, so what do you think will be the value of n, guys? What do you think will be the value of n? Perfect, awesome guys. All of you are following it, which is great. So n is equal to 288. So that will be put over here. So what is my answer finally? It is going to be 4036 minus 288. So that is my answer for this question. Can you guys quickly calculate that and tell me? I guess it should be 3748. That should be 3748. Perfect guys. Perfect. Glad. Okay. So let's move on to the next concept, which is obviously going to be geometric progression. So this is again quite basic. Most of you might have done this in NCERT and would have already mastered it. But still, I wanted to focus on certain points which usually people overlook. Okay, so what is a GP, guys? A GP is nothing but a sequence which is going to have a constant multiplier. You are going to have a constant multiplier. So I have my first term as A. My second term is going to have a constant multiplier to it. So it will be AR and the next term will be AR square and so on all the way up to last term, which is given as AR to the power n minus 1. So that is what I call as my GP, and I'm sure all of you know that R is called as common ratio. My R is nothing but the common ratio. Now guys, the sum of a GP is given over here. That is pretty simple. Now let's come to something which is important. Sum of an infinite GP. Sum of an infinite GP, something we all are very familiar with. But you have to remember or keep in mind always that your R should be minus 1 to 1. Your R should always be minus 1 to 1 if you want to apply this S infinity formula. Please keep that in mind. Many students make mistake in that, because if R is greater than 1, then it will become a diverging series. It does not make sense for us to talk about sum. Are you all able to follow? If R is greater than 1, that means I'm multiplying something greater than 1. Then the series is going to diverge. Then there's no point of talking about sum up to infinity. Got it? Perfect guys. So again, just like what we saw in an AP, we also have some special cases of selection of terms in GP also. And how do we do that? For 3 terms, we usually take A by R, A and AR. And can you guys tell me why we do that? Can you guys tell me why we do that? Okay guys, so the reason we do that is because when product of 3 terms is given, we usually take it this way. Because as you all can see, A by R into A into AR will directly give me A cube. A by R, product A, product AR will directly give me A cube. So if I know the product, I can directly find the value of A, which is great. Are you all able to follow? So that is the advantage in this method, and that is exactly when we will use this particular approach. So similarly for 4 terms, we take it as 1 A by R cube, A by R, AR and AR cube. But one thing to note here guys is that the common ratio is R square. Please keep that in mind, because in the hurry we sometimes write the answer as R alone. But in fact the common ratio is R square over here. So please keep that in mind. So similar to AM, we have something called as GM. And what is GM? GM is nothing but your geometric mean. It is your geometric mean. So how do we define a geometric mean? So in case you have two terms A and B, the GM of A and B is going to be square root of AB. So what you do is you multiply all the terms and raise it to the power of 1 by n, where n is the number of terms. The way to find the GM is multiply all the terms and then raise it to the power of 1 by n, where n is the number of terms. So let's try to solve some interesting questions of series now. With that, we will stop with GP. Let's move on to some good questions. I will give you guys again 30 seconds to solve this one, after which I will discuss the answer. So your time starts now, guys. Okay, awesome. Sudeep, the answer is correct, and ELC Gaming, that is correct. So good guys, few of you have answered it correctly, and now let us try to solve this question. So what is the question here, guys? They have said the sum of first n terms of an AP is Cn square. Then they are asking you what is the sum of squares of first n terms. That's a good question. It is from IIT Advanced of the year 2009. Okay, now what is sum of n terms? Can I write Sn to be A1 plus A2 plus A3 all the way up to An? Are you all with me? Perfect. So that is Sn. So can I say S2 is going to be A1 plus A2? Guys, is that correct? S2 is A1 plus A2, right? And what is S1? S1 is going to be A1. So from these two, my A2 can be written as S2 minus S1. Is that correct? My A2 can be written as S2 minus S1. Okay, so from this one, what is S2? S2 is going to be 4C. And what is S1? S1 is going to be C. So now I will take those values and put it over here. So my A2 is going to be 4C minus C, which is 3C. Okay, and what is S1? S1 is equal to C, right? That means my A1 is equal to C. Perfect guys, awesome. Now here comes the master stroke for this question. Okay guys, what are they asking? They are asking you sum of the squares of the first n terms. So here what I obtained is nothing but two terms. So let me square these two terms and see, that is A1 square plus A2 square. What is it going to be? It is going to be C square plus 3C the whole square, which is C square plus 9C square, and that will be equal to 10C square. Are you all able to follow? So now the sum of the first n terms is asked, but what do I know? I know the sum of first two terms. Sum of the squares of first two terms is known to me. That is squares. Okay, sum of the squares of first two terms is 10C square. So when I put n equal to 2, I should get 10C square. When I put n equal to 2, I should get 10C square. When I put n equal to 2, I should be able to get 10C square. Can you all quickly tell me which option gives you 10C square? Can you all tell me which option gives me 10c square? Perfect, guys. So all of you have got it. Okay guys, let me quickly recap what I did. So first they said the sum of n terms of an AP is Cn square. So sum of two terms is going to be C into 2 square. C into 2 square, which is 4C. And then sum of the first term alone is going to be C into 1 square, which is C. Got it? Perfect. Now I want to know what is my A1 and A2 alone. What is my A1 and A2 alone? So that is S2, which is A1 plus A2. What is S2, guys? S2 is nothing but sum of two terms. So sum of two terms is nothing but A1 plus A2. Okay. And S1 is nothing but sum of first term alone, which is A1. Got it? Now, how do I write A2 in terms of S1 and S2? How do I write A2 in terms of S1 and S2? That is what I am looking at. That is exactly what I am looking at. So A2 is going to be S2 minus S1. A2 is going to be S2 minus S1, because when I subtract S2 minus S1, A1 and A1 gets cancelled. Okay. Okay guys. Now I've got what is A2, right? A2 is going to be equal to 3C, because I know from here my S2 is going to be 4C and my S1 is going to be C. So it is going to be 4C minus C, which is 3C. Got it? Now, what is the sum of squares of first n terms? That is a question, right? That is a question which is asked. So let me write this as sum of squares of first two terms. That is going to be A1 square plus A2 square, which is C square plus 3C the whole square, which is 10C square. So this is an easier way of solving this question. It shouldn't take more than 1 minute to solve it this way. There is a very formal approach which is also quite easy, but guys, in an exam like advanced, you need time. Time gained is going to be marks. Time saved is going to be marks gained. Therefore, you have to think of ways to solve it faster. Okay, I hope all of you got it. Let us move on to the next question which I have for you. Okay guys, I'll give you 20 minutes. Can you all try to answer? That's good, Jamuna. But it's very close to the answer. You guys have to try again. Okay. Rajesh, that's correct. Okay, some of you have got it. Others, you might have made a small calculation mistake. So let us try to see how to solve this question in a easier way. Okay guys, so guys, please stay with me. I want you to watch each and every step. Okay, I want you guys to watch each and every step because it is quite important and I want you to pay attention. Okay, let's start guys. So the first thing which I'll do is I will write this as a sum. So I can write this as 1 plus 3 by 2 plus 7 by 4 plus 15 by 8 plus 31 by 6 and so on. But I want to find what is my 20th term. I want to find what is my 20th term. For that, you need to observe what is the pattern which is going on. For that, you need to observe what is the pattern that is going on. So let me help you with that, guys. So this is going to be 4 minus 1 by 2. Is that correct? 3 can be written as 4 minus 1, which is perfectly fine. Now 7 can be written as 8 minus 1 by 4. And the next term 15 can be written as 16 minus 1 by 8. And 31 can be written as 32 minus 1 by 16. This is 16, guys. Okay. Perfect. Now it is not done still. Now this can be written as 2 square minus 1 by 2. And this can be written as 2 power 3 minus 1 by 2 power 2. And this can be written as 2 power 4 minus 1 by 2 power 3. Similarly, this can be written as 2 power 5 minus 1 by 2 power 4. How does this come? And why did I write this way? Let me come to that. So guys, as you can see, 3 by 2 is my second term, right? 3 by 2 is my second term. So I try to write it, or I try to represent it in the form of 2 power n minus 1 by 2 power something. Got it? So if you observe the pattern, the pattern is going to be the pattern is going to be 2 power n minus 1 by 2 power n minus 1. Are you all able to follow? Guys, are you all able to follow this? 2 power n minus 1 by 2 power n minus 1 is going to be your pattern. So can I say my 20th term is going to be 2 power 20. My 20th term is going to be 2 power 20 minus 1 by 2 power 19. Okay. My 20th term is going to be 2 power 20 minus 1 by 2 power 19. Now, guys, watch carefully. Try to watch carefully. I multiply by half. I multiply by half. Okay. I multiply by half and I write this. This 1 becomes 1 by 2. This 1 becomes 1 by 2. And this 3 becomes 3 by 4. 7 becomes 7 by 8. And 15 by 16. Okay. And so on. What I'm doing is I'm shifting it and writing, guys. So I'm multiplying half to the series. I'm multiplying half to the series and I'm shifting it and writing. I will tell you why I do that. I will tell you why I do that in a while. So the last term, now this will become 2 power 20 minus 1 by 2 power 20. So this will be my last term. Okay guys, now what I'll do is I will subtract all of it. I will subtract all of it. Okay. So s minus 1 by 2 s will give you half s. S minus 1 by 2 s will give you half s. And 1 minus 0 will give you 1. 1 minus 0 will give you 1. 3 by 2 minus 1 by 2 will give you 1 again. And 7 minus 3 will give you 4. 4 by 4 is again 1. Got it? So you will have 1 all the way up to this term. And since this is subtracted, guys, this is subtracted. So this will be minus 2 power 20 minus 1 by 2 power 20. Okay. Perfect, guys. So s is going to be 2 times of, when you sum this all up, how many terms do you have? When you sum this all up, how many terms do you have? You will be having 19 or 20. Exactly guys, there will be 20 such terms minus 1 plus 1 by 2 power 20. So this is going to give me 40 minus 2 plus 1 by 2 power 19, which is 38 plus 1 by 2 power 19. Okay. Perfect. So guys, are you all able to follow? If you are able to follow, please give me a thumbs up. If you are able to follow, please give me a thumbs up. Great guys. So the way I got 20 terms is because you have 1, which is the first term. This is the first term. So 1. And you get 1 from second term. And you get 1 from third term. Are you all able to follow? So I get 1 from every term up to 20th term. Up to 20th term I get 1. So how many terms are totally there? There are 20 terms. So 20 terms will give me 20 terms will give me 20. 20 terms will give me 20 ones, which is going to be 20. So that is how 20 comes guys. So I hope it is clear. Awesome. Okay guys, we'll move on. Okay, so the next concept which I want to discuss with you is nothing but the concept of arithmetic mean, geometric mean and harmonic mean. So what is G square equal to AH? That's because my G is going to be square root of AB, or rather I would say square root of XY, which is given over here. And what is A? A is going to be X plus Y by 2, which is nothing but the arithmetic mean. And what is the harmonic mean guys? What is the harmonic mean? Can anyone tell me? What is the harmonic mean of two numbers X and Y? No Kalpesh, you have to write it again. Exactly. So it is going to be 2xy by x plus y. Okay. So now when I multiply these two, when I multiply A and H, what do I get? When I multiply this, these two get cancelled and I have xy. And what is xy guys? Can I say xy is nothing but g square? Can I say xy is nothing but g square? So that is how you get the first relation. Got it? And the most important of all is the second relation. The most important of all is the second relation, which is given over here. So what is that? My AM is going to be greater than or equal to my GM, which is square root of xy, and that is going to be greater than or equal to my HM. Guys, this is very important for IIT Mains and Advanced as well, because quite a good number of questions are coming from this concept in the recent years. Okay, so please try to pay attention and give importance to this concept, which is nothing but arithmetic mean, geometric mean, inequality. Okay, so here the most important thing to note, is that x and y must be positive. X and y must be positive. Only then you can apply this inequality. Only then you can apply this inequality. So guys, please don't forget this. And in case the question says x and y are positive, it is an indirect hint for you to understand that it is from AMGM inequality. Okay? Awesome guys. Now, another important thing which I want to discuss with you all is when does the equality happen? When does the equality happen? When does the equality happen? Can you all tell me? Exactly guys, some of you have answered it perfectly correct, which is all of them should be equal. That means the equality occurs when my x is equal to y. The equality occurs when my x is equal to y. So that is an important concept, which is what we will be using right now in this question. So this was asked in JEE Mains 2016. I will give you guys 30 seconds to answer. Please try to do it. It is exactly from the concept that we discussed right now. Okay? Perfect guys. I will be watching your answers. So let's see who gets the right answer first. Kumar, that's correct. Perfect. Okay guys, a lot of you are answering, some of you are right, some of you might have gone wrong in calculation, it's totally fine. So let's move on to the answer and see how to solve this question. Okay guys, so let's get started. So the first thing which I want to use is x plus y equal to 12. So I want to use this information, but if I use it directly, I will get x, y, z. If I use it directly in AMGM, I will get GM to be cube root of x, y, z. But do I have x, y, z here? No, I have x cube, y power 4 and z power 5. So please listen carefully guys. This is a very important concept. Please watch carefully what I'm doing. Okay. So the way I write this is x by 3 plus x by 3 plus x by 3. Okay. Next, I will write this as y by 4 plus y by 4 plus y by 4 plus y by 4. Is that correct? Because 4 times of y by 4 will give me y, and this I will write as z by 5 plus z by 5 times. Okay? Is that correct guys? I have written x plus y plus z as x by 3 times, y by 4 times and z by 5 times. Is it clear? Okay guys, awesome. Now, how many terms are there over here? How many terms are there over here? Okay, awesome guys. So let's try to find out how many terms are there. Now, can I say this is 12? The sum of this is 12. There are 12 terms, right? There are 12 terms. So if I want to apply AMGM, we know that AM is greater than or equal to GM. Okay. And what is my AM? The AM of all these terms is going to be the AM of all these terms. What is the sum guys? The sum is 12. So the AM is going to be 12 divided by 12 is greater than or equal to, what is GM? GM is nothing but the product of everything. So it is going to be x by 3 into x by 3 into x by 3 into y by 4 into y by 4 times, and z by 5 the whole power 5, and 1 by 12. Did you all get this step? If you all understood this step, please let me know in the chat. If you all understood this step, please let me know in the chat. Perfect. Awesome guys. Great. So now, can I say 1 is greater than or equal to x cube y power 4 z power 5 by 3 cube 4 power 4 and 5 power 5 to the power 1 by 12. Okay. Now, what does this translate to? This translates to 1 being greater than or equal to x power 3 y power 4 z power 5 divided by 3 cube, 4 power 4 into 5 power 5. That's because I took the power 12 to the other side. I took the power 12 to the other side because I am trying to solve this. Now, here comes the interesting part. Now, can I say x cube y power 4 z power 5 is less than or equal to, what is this, guys? What is this? This is nothing but, can I say 6 to the power 3 into 10 to the power 5? Can I say this is 6 to the power 3 into 10 to the power 5? Can I say this is 6 to the power 3 into 10 to the power 5? Are you all following? Okay, perfect guys. I guess all of you are following this. So, how do I write this? Now let's come to that. Now, 6 to the power 3 into 10 to the power 5, can I write it as 6 to the power 3 into 10 to the power 6 by 10? Can I write it as 6 to the power 3 in 10 to the power 6 by 10? And this will be 600 whole cube by 10. Okay, and that is nothing but 0.1 times of 600 whole cube. Okay, so this is nothing but 0.1 times of 600 whole cube. But guys, what is given in the question? What is given in the question? The product is equal to that. The product of x cube, y power 4 and z power 5 is equal to that. And just now we saw equality occurs only when all of them are equal. Equality occurs when all of them are equal. So can I say my x by 3 will be equal to y by 4 and that will be equal to z by 5? Is that correct, guys? Let us call them to be equal to some number k, because they have to be equal to some number. They have to be equal to some value. So what is my x? My x is going to be 3k and my y is going to be 4k and my z is going to be 5k. Okay. Okay guys. Now what is x plus y plus z? X plus y plus z is going to be 3k plus 4k plus 5k equal to 12. So 12k equals to 12. So my k is going to be equal to 1. Got it? So guys, what is 3k? 3k is x, which is equal to 3. 4k is y, which is equal to 4. 5k is equal to z, which is equal to 5. Now we have got the values of x, y and z. So we have to find out what is x cube plus y cube plus z cube, and that is going to be 3 cube plus 4 cube plus 5 cube, which is 27 plus 64 plus 125, and that will give the answer to be 216. Awesome guys, all of you have got it, which is great. Okay guys, for those who missed out, I will try to explain it again. Please listen. I will do a quick recap of what we did. So first, I wrote x plus y plus z as x by 3 times, y by 4 times and z by 5 times. Okay. The reason I wrote it that way is because if you observe the question, you have x cube, y power 4 and z power 5. You have x cube, y power 4 and z power 5. So if you want to bring that, then you have to write the sum in this way. Okay. Once you get that, I move on to something called as AMGM inequality. I try to use that and then solve this question You might have read it as weighted means. Does that ring a bell? This concept is more detailedly specifically called as weighted means. Okay guys? Awesome. So with that, we will come to the conclusion of this webinar guys. I hope you all liked it, and in the master course we will be covering some concepts of HM. So HM is nothing but harmonic mean, and we will also be covering something called as harmonic progression. A lot of people are not aware of harmonic progressions because we do not study that in school. So that is something which is important because it does appear in mains as well as advanced. And the next concept which most of you have been asking me is nothing but AGP. And AGP is nothing but arithmetic geometric progression. In that we have some pretty interesting questions, and that can be solved using some special ways which we will be discussing in the course. And as we just discussed just now, the importance of AM, GM and HM cannot be emphasized further, and there have been numerous questions which have been asked consistently. So please try to focus on that, and we will be doing a lot of problems on that in the course, because a few problems of maxima and minima can be solved very effectively using the methods of AM, GM and HM. Okay, and guys, I have a very special surprise for you all in the course, which is nothing but special series. Very important for advanced. So if you guys are serious about IIT JEE Advanced, I would ask you guys to please join the course because you have something special coming up. I've got some interesting ways to solve it and would like to share it with you all. And here you have the link for joining the course, and I guess there are limited seats, so please do register in case you are interested, and I will see you all there. Okay, and thank you so much for joining guys. I hope all of you enjoyed the session and learned something useful here, and if you do register, I will meet you all in the course. So this is me, Shimon, Master Teacher of Math at Vedantu, signing off. See you guys. Bye.